So this is I am going to start this game over from the beginning. Here's the first thing you need to know with a strategy playthrough for Shin Megami Tensei if you've never played it before. And this is for the people who never played it before, or those who've played it when it first came out and have never played the revised version in the early 2000s or this version. The main thing to remember more than anything else, three main things to remember if you don't remember anything else while you're playing this game from beginning to the ending. Because I made a mistake on the prior playthrough. Do not ever get rid of the pixie character. Always keep the pixie character in your inventory squad. Pixie character does not have to be in your combat squad while you're doing turn-based missions. But as long as the pixie's in your inventory squad, or your squad setup, or your party setup, doesn't have to be in combat, you're good. Evolve that pixie to a high pixie and leave it alone. Do not let it have more points, do not let it evolve past that or unlock all its abilities. Once it turns into a high pixie, leave it there and put it into your inventory, not in your compendium, which is your archive. Just not let your pixie be in combat. Second thing, it is very important to understand where to go. And if you don't understand where to go, you will get lost. This is a basic minimum. If you're speed running it, you can probably get up to 40 to 45 hours. If you're not speed running it, you could probably get up to 80 to 85 hours. But if you're looking around and exploring the world, this is an easy 100-hour game. And it's recommended, highly recommended, that you always retreat from battles because it gets tedious. This is an old game. That means the enemies will spawn in random battles. Retreat is your saving grace. It keeps you out of battles. It doesn't allow you to level up, which is important. Comes the third thing. Leveling up in Shin Megami Tensei is basically primarily for Magatamas and for summons. You yourself as a character, your protagonist, do not need to level up. All you need to do is to level up your Magatamas, which in and of itself will level you up. You do not need to level up yourself by running around and getting into fights. That is pointless. Reasons why. Because this is the third, and the third one's the most important. There is an ability called Pierce, and you cannot attain Pierce unless you have acquired all Magatamas, and not only acquired all Magatamas, you must have maxed out all Magatamas. So if you've never played this game before, or if you made a mistake, it is essential that you do not level up when you are in random missions your character. You only level up when you have a Magatama for which you want to max out. And once that Magatama is maxed out, get rid of it. Now if you don't have another Magatama to max out, you then go and look for another one. Because as you go through the game, looking for Magatamas, random battles will pop up. And those random battles, if you decide to fight the enemies, will always gradually increase your experience bar, which gradually will increase your experience. And that's no good. The only time you need your experience to level up your character is when you have a new Magatama. Because this game, once you level up a Magatama to full, you cannot go past that. It will block you. A Magatama is full. Or should I say, once your character has unlocked all its abilities, stats, magic, so on and so forth, you cannot go past that. So if you maxed out your character, but you have not maxed out all your Magatamas, that's no good. Because now you're blocked from being able to progress forward. You cannot increase your ability stats. Even if you unlock a Magatama's power, the simple fact that the game is set that it is required for you to select a level up of vitality or strength or an agility. And if you cannot press that button to level up because you maxed out your primary character ahead before acquiring all Magatamas, then you've made a mistake. So this game, 3 things to always remember. Only maxed out your characters on a Magatama. Do not get into random battles. Only use random battles for when it's time to max out a Magatama. That way, you acquire most of your experience goes into the Magatama and not into your character yourself. And then the Magatama in itself will give you the opportunity to unlock an ability or to increase your vitality strength. Don't randomly increase your vitality and strength once a Magatama is already maxed out. Go and look for a new Magatama and then do it through there. Never continue to max out your abilities on a maxed out Magatama. It is required for you to get a new Magatama. And the new Magatama is that little floating thing you see to the right there. It's a symbol of your power. And you need to get those. And I'll start this game over and I'll show you. Now, when you start the game, everything will be loud. This is annoying. As I was talking, the music was also loud. Now the music is not so loud. So now I could proceed through the game with a proper configuration. It's recommended to set it to 2. If you configure and set it to 1, it will block off the music completely. That's also for SE volume, that's also for voice volume, and that's also for movie volume. It is essential that you not put it to the bare minimum. Keep it to 2 at all times. That said, everything else should be fine. You could turn your gamma or your difficulty to whatever setting you want. If you want a hard one, if you want autosave on, that's completely you. So for this game, I'm going to start anew, and I'm going to do it right. And it's a strategy playthrough to show exactly where to go and how to acquire all the Magatamas in the game and what way to acquire all the Magatamas in the game. Now my internet is not the best, so it might go off after a while. But the whole point of this is to give a proper playthrough of acquiring all Magatamas, and essentially, once those are all acquired and maxed out, the Pierce ability, because you cannot acquire the Pierce ability. And the Pierce ability is imperative towards beating the boss. Easy. Or not easy, but moderate. It is helpful. Very, very helpful. Without it, you still can beat the boss, but you will require other characters in your party to have the Pierce ability. And the fight will be far longer than you want it to be, and you will still win, but it will take you twice as long, maybe even 3 times as long to beat him without the Pierce ability. That's the final boss of this game. So having Pierced as your final power for unlocking all the Magatamas and maxing them out is your reward, because it's necessary, and it carries over into New Game Plus. So it's very good, as well as your compendium of all your monsters. So this is going to be starting proper from the beginning, and I'll do it my best to remember where everything needs to go. We will be playing this on normal. There's no need for me to prove myself to anyone. This is not a try to see how strong you are game. This is simply a strategy or a detailed miniature strategy on how to play this game. When certain people online or videos make videos of how to play strategy Shin Megami, they do not tell you this from the beginning. They are wrong. This is not the type of game that you should, oh, I won't do spoilers. This game will really mess you up and make you get lost and make you struggle and make you confused and angry. If you do not know where to go and what to do, it's essential that you know where to go and what to do, otherwise you will waste a lot of time. As I said before, if you speed run it, you might be able to get 45 to 50 hours in. Normally, this could be completed in 80 to 85 hours if you're skipping a lot of stuff. But this is a standard if you're trying a minimum 100 plus hour game. This is a very, very long game. And not having a strategy or knowing how things work from the beginning is going to be painful towards you and might ruin your enjoyment of the experience. Now, if you just want to not hear spoilers and stuff, you could watch someone else's video and just enjoy it. But if you don't want to get lost a lot, you could either listen to this video or someone else's video. The whole point of my videos are simply to give people guides on how to do something if someone else doesn't already tell you how to do it or where to do it. And that's all there is. So we'll continue from this point on forth. I'll try to cut my mic. Actually, I won't try. I'll cut my mic. And I'll only speak on certain things when it's necessary to speak on.
A world that loses its power will fade into nothing. If such is the fate of this world, then I shall return it to its mother's womb. The world must first die, for it to be born again. This is the path to salvation, as foretold in an ancient prophecy. The world will fall for its sins, and everyone living will vanish. But I won't let you meet the same fate. I want to help you hold on to your life. To do so, I need to know your name. Will you tell me who you are? That's right. As of now, your will to live shall sustain you. Believe in it, and survive. I'm glad you understand. The time is near. Everything that is will be rewritten. I am the nurturer of the next world. The template for our future rests within my hands. Now, I want you to say my name aloud. That's right. No, I won't shed another tear, not even at this world's end. Instead, I can invite you to the world that is to come. Now go ahead, wake up. The time is here.
Please do not rush onto the train. The door is now closing.
Great. The entire park's closed off. They can't even let a guy in to snap a few photos? Guess it's not my lucky day. Huh? You need something, kid? Well, here's what they said on TV. Panic erupts as a clash between corporate representatives and a civic organization ends in violent deaths. Pretty disturbing, right? But those who live on the fringe say it was a deeper struggle between two cults. I think that's your phone going off.
Hey, are you there? Finally, I get a hold of you. What's taking you so long? I could see if it was our other friend, but you're never late. You wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Where are you now? Yoyogi Park? Well, since you decided not to show, we had to leave without you. We're almost there now. So, yeah, would you mind coming straight to the hospital? You do know which hospital it is, right? Shinjuku Medical Center. Just go east from Shinjuku Station and keep going. You can't miss it. I guess this works out. I was planning to ask our teacher for career advice, so I'll just go ahead of you. Thanks. Keep in mind, I don't plan on staying too long. Okay? See you later.
Hold up. You're on your way to Shinjuku Medical Center? That's also where I'm headed, oddly enough. Go figure. Why don't you hang on to this? It's a copy of our upcoming issue. I'm assuming you don't know what went down here. Then, you probably don't know what kind of place that hospital is either. The name's Hijiri, author of The Ring of Gaia and the Scripture of Moroku. Might want to give that a read. Normally, you wouldn't associate a hospital with the occult. That hospital is anything but normal. Or so they say. There's a lot of misinformation floating around these days. If it turns out I'm wrong, just laugh it off, okay? Anyway, I'd better be going. Oh yeah, in the event we run into each other again, let me know how you liked my article.
Well, hey, about time. Is it just me, or is something seriously off here? There isn't anyone in sight. No nurses, no patients. Look, even the reception desk is empty. Don't you think there's something weird about this place? I sure do. Anyway, you know who is looking for a teacher right now. And big surprise, he's still gone. He'd better not be off goofing around. Oh, what's with that magazine? Some stranger gave it to you? Come on, you should know better than that. Ayakashi Monthly. Never heard of it before. What? It's an occult magazine? Why would you bring something like that here? Well, maybe it could help me kill some time. Anyway, can you go find that bonehead? If he can't find our teacher, then I don't want to be here another minute. You should be on the second floor, where the patients' rooms are. I'll be waiting down here. Oh, and leave the mag with me. Don't leave me hanging too long, okay?
Oh man, you scared the crap out of me. Why'd you go sneaking up like that? Jeez, you come here late, you cause trouble. You know what? Forget it. Not worth it. I'm sure you've already noticed, but this place has been cleaned out. You think I called our teacher to make sure this was it? She clearly told me. Shinjuku Medical Center. They could have at least put up a notice or something so visitors aren't clueless. Maybe someone unleashed a deadly virus in here. I've already checked out everywhere she might be. I'm running out of places to look. Think we should just call it? Alright, I'm gonna head back down and check out how our other lady's doing. I bet she's all pissed because I've been gone so long. Anyway, I really hope this isn't the shitstorm it's shaping up to be.
Oh, you're back. So, you know that special report at the beginning of the magazine? Well, it says some things that are more than a little unsettling. According to this, there's a group of demon worshippers who call themselves the Ring of Gaia. And they're right here in Japan. Apparently, they believe in this book of prophecy called the Scripture of Miroku. In that book it says that chaos will engulf the world, and these people are trying to cause that somehow. Whether their idea of chaos means terrorism or something else entirely, the reporter couldn't figure that out. But get this.
No luck finding her. I even checked the men's room.
Didn't need to know that. We're in the middle of a conversation here, so save those details for later. Now, listen to this part. A hospital on the east side of Shinjuku is closely linked to the organization's sinister plan.
Let me guess. That ends with, find out more in our next issue. Though it wouldn't surprise me if that article had some truth to it. I've heard some real spooky shit about this place. Like how they run deadly experiments on patients, or how a psychic started shrieking and bolted out of here. And of course, there's a rumor that a cult's behind it all.
You're serious? I never knew any of that. Maybe we really shouldn't have come here. I almost feel stupid for buying into some bizarre tabloid. But it does get one thing right. How creepy this hospital is.
Mm-hmm. We really need to find her, don't we? Okay, we search this place top to bottom one last time. If nothing pops up, we assume nothing's wrong, and we split. By the way, looks like you can reach the annex from the second floor. I'll go take a look up there. Whereas you have the honor of searching the basement. Oh, and, you'll need this.
You're the one who found the card. Why don't you search the basement? Could it be you're too scared?
Come on, this is me we're talking about. The only reason he's going is because I'm sure there's nothing down there. Look, all you need to do is confirm that our teacher isn't in the basement. Got it? After all, saving the day is my job. Should things take a turn for the worse, just run like hell, okay?
I can't believe him sometimes. Anyway, let's focus on finding our teacher. No matter what, we have to make sure she's safe.
is it? Who dares disrupt this stillness? Only a lost lamb. A well-known poet once said, "April is the cruelest month." Have you any inclination as to why? Because it is then one awakens from a long sleep and faces the barren world. Our history as a species is similarly barren, comprised of empty trivialities. The worthless overgrowth of a civilization blind to its sins. Continuous war and bloodshed. In thousands of years of repeating the same mistakes over and over again. The world needs to wipe its slate clean. The way to salvation was foretold in the scripture of Miroku. And today, that prophecy shall be fulfilled. The old world will sink like a setting sun, and the new world... Now, how should I deal with you? From what I recall, you weren't among our followers who survived the purge at the park. Oh, you're her acquaintance. Come to think of it, this was a hospital, wasn't it? And you merely came to visit her. However, even a pebble creates ripples when cast in water. And while I do feel pity for you, your life ends here. Do not be afraid. All the inhabitants of this world will follow before long. Your time has just come a bit sooner. That's... You fool. No one can overcome their fate.
Stop!
Hmm?
What? You can't even let one person go?
Alright, so it's at this point in the game, it's important to classify certain things. Regardless of whether you choose to accept, face them or not, she'll walk through the door. As in for the scripture of Miroku and Cult of Gaia. They're fictional stuff, but some of it is related to actual real cult stuff. What he was saying about April is the cruelest month. April showers me flowers. It's not just a representation of what people say. It's also during the time old occult beliefs or arcane beliefs that April was a time of renewing from tragedies of summer and freezings of the winter, wars that happen during those times, mostly in summer and sometimes in winter, and that's when things are refreshed and start anew. But it's also during the time in which a lot of people decide to do occult things, sacrifices and stuff, based on full moon or new moons, and April was the month that they chose to do some of those things. So I guess you could say why state April's the barren. It's the time when I guess people were most idle back in the days, or being idle due to just taking the time off from the tragedies of the world and try to start anew. However, those who were evil in their intent to either destroy or renew the world, whether they're emperor or normal people, they sought to other forms of arcane traditions in order to achieve their ends, and they use April, a time when it was not too hot or not too cold, in order to do it. Not all the time though, but for certain specific reasons, that seemed to have been a month that most Celtic beliefs were focused upon, or a lot of arcane science use April as that month. Don't know why, but it's true in history. It's not fictional. This people who made this game only take certain aspects of actual history and put it into this game. It's a very occult-centered game, and a lot of the characters and monsters are based on arcane science and arcane history, lore, and fiction fantasy from the ancient past and today as well. Like certain monsters are visible representations of fictional characters we see even in today's society that weren't created in ancient times, that were created during the 19th and 20th century. So even in this game, there are current lore and current fictional characters that are fairy tales in here, for entertainment purposes, of course.
What effect could he possibly have on our plan?
However insignificant he is, I am not a man of exceptions. You know this.
Fine. If you don't spare him, then consider our partnership over.
Such a troublesome maiden. Well, I'll leave the teaching to the teacher. Please leave this room. I would like to enjoy this blissful end in solitude.
I'll be waiting on the roof. We'll have a good view of the city from there. Come, see it with your own eyes. Witness that which will change the world.
What's wrong, my little master? Are you curious about that person over there? Oh, is that so? My. But right now, we have other matters to attend to. Let's do that afterward.
So, here we are again. I'm glad I intervened when I did. I wouldn't want you to fall prey to a demon. You heard what Hikawa said, right? This world is about to be swallowed by chaos. It's called the Conception, the rebirth of the world. An event which no human has ever witnessed. Everyone outside of this hospital will perish. I doubt anyone would approve of such a terrible thing. But even if we did keep this old world alive, it would eventually lose all its power. The world must first die, for it to be born again. And I alone will carry the burden of its sin. As for regrets, I have none. What matters is that fate reached out and led you here. And it is your fate to live through the conception. It may actually be more painful than death. But I believe in you. Please. Come find me when it's done. No matter how the world changes, I'll be your pillar of strength. It is my duty as the maiden to take part in shaping the new world. Meaning I can show you a better way to live. I know it must be difficult for you to understand. But we're out of time. Listen, if you can find me on your own, I promise to tell you everything. The answers to all your questions. And what my intentions really are.
Who would enter my world, reveal your heart to me. You have nothing stirring within you, not even a hint of reason. For the one who will shape the world, this cannot be. Go forth and discover yourself. What will be the legacy of your existence?
Do not be afraid. My little master has taken an interest in you. Pitiful human though you are, he wishes to grant you a gift. It is vital that you receive it, and I'm afraid you have no choice. Please try not to struggle. It will only hurt for an instant.
Enjoy your last moments as a human.
Magatama is the essence of demonic power. With it, you have joined the ranks of demons. My little master is always watching, so please try not to bore him.
Who's there? Wait. Aren't you that kid I met at the park? What in God's name happened to you? I see. Well, at least you still think like a human. That aside, you know what the hell's going on here? Last thing I remember, I was blinded by a bright light. After that, I was in this room. From the look of it, we're in some sort of hospital. Seeing as you're here too, I take it this is Shinjuku Medical Center? Well, first things first. As much as I want to know what's going on out there, it's not exactly safe to walk around. Have you come across any of them yet? Well, they're definitely not human. My guess is that they're demons. My strange experience, your new look, and these weird creatures. Something tells me calling the cops won't do us any good. But damn, if my hunch is right, there's an actual explanation for all this. Though I'd rather not believe it. If this is Shinjuku Medical Center, I can't just rule it out. The conception may have occurred for real. You know, I've seen a barrel like this before. If I remember right, it belonged to a man named Hikawa. He's gotta be behind this somehow. Just standing here talking won't do us any good. Listen, if you're strong enough to fight, could you gather some information while you're at it? I tried talking to what looked like a ghost, but I didn't have much luck. What's happened to the world? And is there anyone else out there? We can only find the answers by finding other people. I wish I could do it myself, but I doubt I'd last long against a demon. Besides, I imagine studying this thing has its own merits. So for now, I leave it to you. Don't bother worrying about me. I know I'd only slow you down if I tagged along. Hey, I don't plan on dying here, you know. I figure I can make myself useful by studying this thing. Now get going. First things first, try and make it outside. Alive.
Come, show me the strength of a demon. This way. So, you made it. Your strength is outstanding. We shall meet again soon.
Okay, so this is the pixie I was saying. Once you have this pixie and she joins you, never let this pixie go. You could register her in your compendium later on in the game, but it's recommended that you always have this pixie in your party. Even when you want stronger summons, because she's probably the weakest of all summon creatures. Like, literally the weakest. You still want her in your party regardless, because eventually she evolved to become an extremely powerful magic caster fairy. In fact, she becomes one of the most significantly important characters towards the end of the game. So it's imperative to keep her. Never get rid of her, throw her away, or put her in the compendium and then take her out of the compendium, out of your archive and back into your party. Always keep her in your party. Yes, there are gonna be times when she's taking up space for more powerful characters, but it's essential that you deal with it and keep her in their party. She's essential for opening a specific door in a specific place that requires her to evolve to her true form. She will never be able to evolve to her true form if she's not in your party for the longest more than anyone else. So this is an important choice. It's very important to not get rid of her.
Nice to meet you!
Don't bother worrying about me. I know I'd only slow you down if I tagged along. Hey, I don't plan on dying here, you know. I figure I can make myself useful by studying this thing. Now get going. First things first, try and make it outside. Alive.
seen you around, and I don't like your face. You trying to get by without paying respect to me, the almighty Fornius? You want to die, don't you? I screwed up and let another human escape a while ago, but not this time. I have a habit of butchering anyone who disrespects me. I cut him up with these fins. Time to die!
It is reassuring to see you did nothing to embarrass my little master. For instance, dying. My little master has pitied you. The least you could do is survive such a trivial thing as this. Come to think of it, this is your first time seeing the new Tokyo, is it not? Allow me to tell you one thing, if you don't mind. Look above you. As you can see, Tokyo has now become a spherical world. Now, do you see something shining in the center up there? That is Kagutsuchi. That is what created this vortex world. And that is also what provides power to its inhabitants. Oh, my little master, are we leaving already? Pardon me, but we must be going. Please keep up your efforts. To create or destroy this world, the choice lies with you.
So this is the Vortex world.
Alright, so because there are two versions to this game the Japanese created. The original version, which has the character Dante in it, and that's probably the reason why it became so famous. One of the reasons why it became so famous, not only in Japan but in the US, because Dante was in it. But it also became even more famous because I believe the character from the original Devil Summoner was placed as a DLC character. If you purchase the bundle instead of Dante in Dante's place, the extended version of the original game, you would be offered the character Raito in place of Dante. Now you could choose the option to play as Raito, or you could choose the options to not play as Raito. And under extra content, you could choose Dante. But for this one, I am going with Raito. Because I'm pretty sure everyone already knows the Dante character already. Popped up in this game, and probably one of the reasons why it was so famous and became even more famous than it originally was back in the days as a turn-based game. So for this one, it's Raito. So if you don't see Dante, it's not that it's Dante, it's just that I already did the one with Dante in the past. I never did the one with Raito, so I've never seen Raito's one, or Raito, or Rido, however you want to say his name. The original Devil Summoner character.
I suppose it resembles the capital vaguely enough. Well, old man, you sure put us on one heck of a case. Alright, Raito, what's the plan? Do we confront the demi-fiend here and now? Perhaps we should watch and wait, and see how the plot unfolds.
Yeah, Raito is, if I remember correctly, from the first Devil Summoner game. His full name is Raito something Kuzo, so something Noha. The 15th, I believe, or 14th. I don't know. I don't remember. But it's not like just a traditional Japanese name. It's like they're given a number. He's not just have a name. He has a number attached to his name. He is a regular high school student. Blah blah blah. As in standard Japanese. His base sword comes with a base sword and gun, kind of like Dante. But his whole story is that he's the protagonist, and he doesn't speak at all. His summon cat, or however you want to call him, does most of the talking. I don't know much about Rado's past because I've never played the first Devil Summoner. I've heard about him from Devil Summoner game. I mean, I've never seen much about him, but from his profile, I remember from back in the days. The only thing I know of him is that he comes from Kuzunoha village, and he's in high school. He uses a sword, and he could summon demonic creatures, or demonic type of creatures, and also banish such creatures. His whole purpose is, as a devil summoner, is to banish things that might be causing problems in the real world. Kind of like it's kind of like a herald, but he's not really. So his sole job is to protect the people of this world from supernatural dangers. Think of him like a Sam and Dean Winchester of Supernatural, but part of an organization which he's dedicated to, and well, not I would say 100% dedicated to, but is their purpose dedicated to make sure certain beasts don't come into this world and do as they please. So that's partly his job. And in some ways he's like Dante, in other ways he's very different from Dante, because Dante really doesn't serve anyone. He serves mostly himself. But that's the whole Rado Devil Summoner thing. He has his own. The best part about Rado is that the Devil Summoner series got so popular. He had a series of different spin-offs and continuation: Devil Summoner 2, Devil Summoner 3, and other side ones. So, he's well known in the Shin Megami Tensei world. And I guess the people who originally had Shin Megami Tensei, it's like, why would you put Dante? Why not put a character from the Shin Megami Tensei world as your secondary? And out of all the Shin Megami Tensei games, they decided to pick one to add, show up in this world. And the best character that they could think of was Rado. So, that's that. also must point out that it's imperative at this point in the game to retreat from most battles. The only time it's important to level up your character and to do battles is when you know the opponent you're about to fight, even if it's random, is pretty strong, or you want to recruit them to your team. And when you have Magatamas that are incomplete, like this is incomplete, and this is incomplete. So you keep doing and leveling up experience to max out those Magatamas, as in the requirements through the game. So I will get into battles, and I will level up those Magatamas. But at the moment, I don't really have to do so. I could take, later on in the game, not too far in the game, you'll be given the ability to access 2 areas that could level up your characters fast and acquire monies fast. So for right now, you really don't need to do that, because all you'll be doing is wasting your magic powers, or magic points, which Pixie, Komoda, and Shikigami are pretty much out of. And the healer, which is another thing in this game, that's why it's important to understand when you should do battle, when you shouldn't. The healer in this game will charge you for every time you have low health, or when you need